Analytics and BI. Everybody talks about big data. I used to do Teradata. So big data is an old word for me, and it doesn't mean anything. The key is data is the most important thing you can have as a company. People sell data, people steal data. When the hackers get into your system, they're not getting in it to take your data and play with it. They're getting into it so they can sell it. It's valuable information that you have. So you have valuable information that you can utilize as well. Analytics give you the ability to make faster, quicker decisions than you ever did before. Your executive team should always be able to make a decision, and you shouldn't have to spend 30 days, 30 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 days to give them an answer. They're not accepting that anyway anymore. So BI is a great tool that you can implement to do things with. Using analytics for the BI is the key to getting that information. Mobilization, I already talked about. You got to be mobile. You got to be mobile. You have to do everything mobile today to allow everybody to be the best that they can be. Even if it's just working from home, you have to be mobile. So I put this word together called SCAM that covered all three of those. And the key to that is you need all four of them. Now, before we got into Appian, we had some of those already in other areas. And I look at it as a baseball concept. You have one, you got a single, you got two, you got a double, you got three, you got triple. You get all four, you get a home run. And we're out to hit a home run. So I challenge my team that whenever you go out and you're going to implement or bring anything new to the organization, you better go through these 4 examples and ask what part of those 4 this application is bringing or this process is going to bring to you, bring to the airport. How do I benefit from this? If it's none of those, don't bring it because I can't use it. We can't use it. One thing that I have to say about Appian, and I won't talk about him anymore, Appian enabled me to hit a grand slam. Because understand, I had 4 of those things already. I had 1 of all of those. I had BI. I had already identified that the cloud service was helping us out on the area of that trip project that you saw. We're using a cloud project management for construction. So I realized the benefits of that. We had already done mobile from collecting information for our readers on the meters to bill our tenants. So we had done a little bit of mobilization already on going around scanning that information, sending it to a computer. But when you can put all 4 of those together, you got somebody on all, well, you can't have people on all the bases because a home run, you kind of clear the bases. But if you have, I looked at it as a grand slam because Appian gave us the opportunity to take advantage of all of those things and put it into one. So that was a really cool thing to do. Now let's talk about our rollout on Appian. We got into Appian kind of, my team, I think they're called Business Solutions. Their job is to automate things, to take things that were manual and make them automated and be creative on internet, extranet, create wayfinding tools, latest and greatest development on all these kind of things. We were in the process, we said we're going to take all the paperwork and all the paper applications and we're going to put them into, we're going to automate them. And we were doing about 1 of these every 6 months. 1 every 6 months, and there's over 200 of them. So we weren't getting anywhere fast soon. And that was over a couple of years, and we were very happy with what we had produced. So Sonia Bridges came to me and said, I got a tool that if you allow me to do this, I can do 15 of those in 6 months. Let me see, 1, 6 months, 15 in 6 months. Okay, show it to me. So she took me to some CIO conference, and Mac happened to be there, and we started talking, and he said, yep, we can do that. I said, you can? I said, okay. So I'm a risk taker. My job is to move with technology and take a risk on something and try it. So I said, go ahead and do it. And Sonia, you know, your job's on the line, and you get these other people who are going to, try to do this for you. And Sonia said, no, this is really good. She kept selling it to me, and I said, okay, let's do it. We converted, as you can see, 32 business processes in 8 months. 32. That was a major thing. It integrated with our PeopleSoft. We did our all of our HR applications that people have to sign, and they usually just, when we did the easy conversion, they type it in, and then they take that piece of paper and then walk around with it. Appian gave us the opportunity for them to type it. Well, actually, one example, you type in your name and your employee number, and then Appian filled everything else out. Not only did it fill it out, it also told you whether or not you could apply for a job. On that display you see there, the one to your left is the HR. We track the utilization of our apps, how many times people are actually using them. And this is on the, is that records or reports? One of you guys should know. Reports, that's reports. Okay, thank you. On the Reports app, it tells us the utilization that we have, and we have more people applying for jobs internally than anybody ever knew. So, and that's a good thing because we promote within. That's a good thing. So it's not a bad thing. But it was just surprising that how many people actually fill that app out. As well as on the other side, those are some of the IT apps and other areas of the department. So Reports is a good thing to use. But the key to that is, as we rolled this out and we started doing it, and people started utilizing it, that meant people started asking for more and more of it. The demand became higher and higher. And we started saying, wow, this thing must work. So that means I got to call Matt and tell him that, he was right, that something actually worked. Matt, it worked. Okay, I said it. You all witnessed that I told him. If he's not in here, don't tell him I said it. Okay, because I can ask for something else. You know how that works, right? But the key part of it was that it just didn't enable us to automate a process. It allowed us to make that process intelligent. It allowed us to take different parts of our organization and bring them in. It made it more efficient. It made it more effective. It made them want to use it. Because remember that employee engagement part that I talked about as part of our 4 key objectives? It's really hard to get the employees involved in new technology, especially when they don't see it. But when they start applying for that application, that new job, and they didn't have to sit and wait for weeks from HR. There's no HR people in here, are there? You know how slow HR is, right? You wait weeks, if not months. Anybody who tried to get hired in a government entity? Okay, you know what I'm talking about. It takes a long time for them to process something. We enabled them to know with the click of a button whether they were even eligible. And if we weren't eligible, if there were education training required, it told them what it was. So now they are able to go and get the training, apply again. If they were on PIP, that means you're in trouble because you're doing poor performance at our place. And sometimes you don't know you're on PIP. I don't know how that works, but they act like they didn't know. Then it tells you can't apply because you can't be on PIP for 6 months and apply for a job. So it gave a lot of things. Now, what we didn't know was the processes behind that application when we were building it. We didn't know there were 16 steps that were taken. So we got educated as well. So that's one of the things when you start getting into this, you start finding all the different things that you do. It's kind of surprising, the processes associated with it.